everybody. I just wanted to come back on here. I know it's been several months since I have been on my channel, and I apologize for that, but I've been working nights now, so it's been really difficult to get on here early enough that I can actually get on here and do my video. I'm currently videoing in my art room. As you can see, I have all my paintings about. This is the room I use for reading as much as possible. Sorry, I'm really tired. I actually stayed up late last night reading, so I've had a lot of coffees, and that's why I'm on here now, just because I've had some caffeine. Don't you just love my cup? It's adorable. I absolutely love it. Anyways, I'm going to jump right into this video because it's been a very long time since I've done one of these. This is going to be a one video book review for several books. So I'm going to pick up a book and I will show it to you, and then I will do the review on it, and then I will go to the next one, and then at the end I'm going to do a few books that are not for the book club, and the ones that I'm reading and the ones that I want to read, which are, as you probably know, a lot, because shoot, I lost some books because there are a lot of books. Just one moment. Knocked over a bunch of my books. Okay, so I got this pile of books, and I am just going to pull out of my basket I have here and kind of go through the last few books that I've read over the last couple of months. So the first book I have is Revival by Stephen King. So this book is very strange, as is Stephen King. So it starts out with a young boy, and his name is Jamie Morton, and he meets this new reverend. He's not the reverend yet, but he just came to a town to become the reverend, and his name is Charles Jacob. And he kind of is a scientist. He believes in science, which is kind of weird for a reverend, but that's what he believes in. And he thinks he can heal people with science. So we go from like whatever the kid's name is. Sorry, Jamie. We go from Jamie's as a child and him first meeting this Jacob character, the Reverend. And something very tragic happens to the Reverend with his family, and he ends up moving away because of a sermon that he wrote. So because of that, he moves away, kind of gets kicked out of the church, and he moves away, and eventually Jamie moves out and grows up. And he ends up with some very bad people. Hello, Playful. My Playful decided to come visit. Say hello to my followers. Hello. My baby boy, Playful. And he gets into some bad situations and he ends up dealing with addiction. So there is some trigger warnings of addiction in this book, though it's very, very good. I definitely recommend Stephen King. He is one of the most fantastic writers I have ever read. All his books are good. I have never had an issue with one of his books yet. So there's that. My bubbles, my baby boys. Yeah. I gave it 5 stars because I enjoyed it immensely. It was very strange. Of course, with Stephen King, I was expecting it to be strange, but it took, like, some, like, religion and somebody that's into science and whatnot, and it took it to a different level, which I am not used to. If you are highly religious if you are very religious, I do not recommend this book to you because it talks about religion and some weird things. Yes, this is a work of fiction and it's not real, and I understand that, but it's strange. And I definitely recommend reading more of his book. I'm kind of giving a very vague review, but I want you all to read the book yourselves and like the book yourselves, because it's definitely a creepy Stephen King book. I know this is a very vague review, but I'm trying not to give anything away. Just because I know that some people don't like spoilers. I don't like to give spoilers away because I would not want to watch a YouTube video and then have spoilers. If you want a spoiler review, I can make the video if you guys comment below, even though there's not a whole lot of you, probably because I haven't been on my channel, and the people that do have lots of followers, they edit their videos very often, so this book has a fantastic plot. It has very good world building and fantastic writing style. I have learned so many new words from Stephen King just because he uses words that I've never heard of before, because obviously it's an adult horror genre. So he uses words that I'm not used to seeing in my fantasy-based books that I read, which I kind of understand because he is a horror-based writer. So this one was amazing because I read it when it was not snowing outside. It's snowing right now, but this is a perfect book for kind of this time of year. Maybe not in November, being as it's like it's like the 5th of November, but this is a perfect book for like October, like September, October kind of a book, because it just gives that creepy vibes. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I was going to do a video for each of these books, but if you want to, if you guys are on Facebook and you want to join my Facebook group, it's Book Dragons 2019. And again, if you want to join my Instagram, it's Gemini Book Dragon 93. And I also have a Twitter account, which is Book Dragon 93 as well. So if you guys want to join that, I would be more than happy for you guys to do that. And I will try to have all the links for my pages down in the description box. So that book was for the June book club book for June of 2022. Now my next book is totally the opposite of Stephen King because it was July when I read this book. So the July's book club book was The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And this is about a woman who does not understand love, and she comes up with I cannot pronounce it. She comes up with numbers to predict customer purchases, and she has a whole lot of money to go with because of this. The main character's name, the female main character's name is Stella, as she has Asperger's, which is a type of disability. So, she really knows nothing about relationships at all. It's hilarious. So this definitely has some adult content. She hires a sex worker to help her figure out the relationship thing. Anyways, being as my sister just walked through my video, so the main character kind of annoys me because she just annoyed me a lot. And I didn't know she had autism until way later in the book, so I'm sorry if that offends any of you. So I really love this book. It was hilarious at times, and it had me upset at times. Like, I am all for these, like, insta-love romance genre books. I don't really want to give anything away, but basically it's about two characters that you would not think would be falling in love, but they end up falling in love. What are you looking for?
The key?
Oh, bloody. Hi, sorry about that. My sister interrupted my lesson 3 times. Anyways, as I was saying, this book is very good. If you forgot what it was, it's this one. It's super, super, super good. It was so hilarious. I didn't really like the main character to begin with, but eventually I started liking her. I really like the chemistry between the two, even though their relationship is mostly physical. And, you know, she's a very hard time with the physical aspect of the relationship that they start to build. So, eventually, after, you know, a lot of sad things happen, she eventually, you know, has a relationship with this guy, and I think it's absolutely adorable. Yes, there is instant romance, and I think that instant romance is absolutely ridiculous, because it is. It's like instant, I like you kind of thing. Sorry, stupid lamp keeps turning off. Anyway, this is already going to be a huge video, so I'm sorry in advance. This is just book 2 of many. So, I giggle all the time, and it seriously makes me giggle because they have such a good chemistry, which is what you really need in order for anything to work. So, this book also shows what it's like to be somebody with autism. And don't quote me on anything because I'm not a doctor. I do not know what autism is like. So I have no idea if this is real, if it is fiction. I'm just telling you what I read. And it explained what it's like to live with what this person has to deal with on a daily basis of having autism. So, I guess Asperger's, whatever. So, I don't know if this is accurate at all, because I have never dealt with autism. I know many people that have autism and they have a very hard time with it. So I definitely understand that part of it. I do not understand what it's like to be somebody with autism. So I am in no way a doctor. I have no idea what it's like, but this is what I've read in this book. So if you are liking my video, I hope you are, once I edit it, once I figure out how to edit it, because I'm still new to this, even though I've been doing it for about a year now, year or two, since 2020 at least, because we were bored, so. And if you want, feel free to subscribe, and I would really appreciate that. You don't have to. If you just want to watch my videos, you can click on the bell icon in the corner, and every time I make a new video, it will pop up for you. Okay, let's just move on to the next one, because this video is already almost 20 minutes long. So the next book that I have read recently is Paris is Always a Good Idea. This is by Jen McKinley, and she writes so well. Like, I was enthralled. Like, I could not put this book down at all. I read it, the physical copy, and I also listened to it audiobook. The audiobook version. Sorry, I can't talk today. And I really, really enjoyed it a lot. It was a romance book, 100%. It's about a woman. Her name is Chelsea, and she embarked on her year-long post-college European adventure about 7 years ago. And since then, she lost her mother to cancer, which is super sad and something that I really have a hard time reading in books, just because I've had a lot of family go through cancer, and I have a lot of family members that have passed away because of cancer. So this book, it hit really close to home, and the fact that also it's about her mother, and my mom is also sick. My mom does not have cancer, but she does have kidney disease. So it's been really difficult. It was really difficult reading this book because of that. And because my mom is sick, and then her mom was sick and passed away, it hit hard, even though it's completely two different things. Cancer is horrible, and I hate it, and I wish it didn't exist. But to every single person that has beat cancer, I am so thankful that some of the people that I know that have had cancer have beat cancer. This makes me extremely happy, because I don't think I could lose anybody else to cancer. It's been a lot. Anyways, lack of sad things. And this book was sweet. So, she works for the American Cancer Coalition, and she has a competitive co-worker. His name is Jason Knightley. And they have like a enemies to lover kind of thing going on, which I really appreciate. Like, the first half of this book is they hate each other, basically. Like, they have a work relationship that is hate. And she ends up deciding that she's going to go back to Europe after she finds out that her father is getting remarried to somebody he just met a few months ago. And Chelsea is forced to realize that her life stopped after her mom passed away, which is understandable, being as her mom passed away. So, I understand that. She decides to go back to all the places that she visited before. So, she goes back to Ireland. She goes back to Ireland, and she goes to France and Italy, and she hopes that one of the 3 guys that she was with in those 3 different places is going to be the love of her life again. But she realizes that Jason is actually somebody she wants to spend the rest of her life with. So, there's some very hilarious parts in this book. Like, it's not just sad, it's hilarious, it's sweet, it's maddening, because the 2 characters do not realize that they like each other, and blah blah blah, you know. So, it's hilarious. I love this book so much. So, I absolutely adored this book. I think it is one of my favorite books of 2020, and I'm hoping that I can do a favorites of 20 2022, sorry. This is probably my favorite of 2022, is what I meant to say. So, I'm hoping that I can do a favorites video of my books of 2022, because I definitely enjoyed this book, and all the books actually I enjoyed a lot. So the next book that I read is Red, White, and Royal Blue. And this one is by Casey McQuiston. I hope I pronounced that right. Anyways, this one is about two very famous sons. And yes, it is a male-male romance, so if you do not like male-on-male romances, I definitely recommend you to not read it if you are not into male same-sex relationships, male version, or same-sex relationships, female. So this is about America's first son, and he falls in love with the Prince of Wales. So again, this is another, like, enemies to lovers type of book. Like, they've always excuse me. They've always disliked each other. But then a bunch of things happen that are very public, and they end up having to pretend to be friends, which ends up with them being together a lot of the times. And then it ends up with them being in, you know, a romance, like a forbidden romance type thing, because they're gay, and they just don't know it. And now, I didn't think I was going to like the same-sex books, but I actually super enjoyed it. It's funny because they're both famous, so they both have paparazzi after them all the time, and, you know, they have people telling them what to do, and how to dress, and all the famous people stuff. So then lots of shenanigans happen in this book. Like, they mess up a wedding, and they end up, that's the first thing that ends up with them having to spend lots of time together. And then nobody knows that they're gay, so then they're kind of hiding it, and so I absolutely adored this book. I recommend this book 100%. Like, Red, White, and Royal Blue, I would recommend more than any book that I've read in a very long time. Like, maybe not my favorite books. I wouldn't recommend it over my favorite books, but I would recommend it for this year. Oh, I stayed up way too late last night. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that's basically my review. I know I didn't really tell you much, but that's just because I don't want to give anything away. But all you have to know is two guys that are very famous, the Prince of Wales and the first son of the President of the United States, or I guess the First Lady of the United States, whatever you want to call it. It's a lady that's in charge of the United States at the moment in this book. It's not real, obviously, but in this book, it's her son. And it's adorable, and I love it. and I would 100% read more by her because she's a very talented writer. Like, she had me snort laughing, she had me in tears, she had me mad. Like, it was cute. And they have other characters too that also are in it, so I really love that too. And I'm also trying to be fast so that I don't have like a 3-hour video, which I probably will anyways have. Okay. So, the next book that I want to review, just because I don't want this to be a very, very long book, because I still have lots of books left, is going to be Finders Keepers by Stephen King. Now, I did not think this is going to be what it was going to be, because it ended up being about an author who, like, wrote a bunch of these, I guess they're called manuscripts before he published them, but he writes a bunch of manuscripts and he has them in these molten, like, kind of leather back books or notebooks, and he has all his scribblings written down and all this, and he also has a bunch of money, and he has it in his safe. And a couple of these men, they break into his house, and they want the leader wants his book, this unpublished book, because he wrote a series before, and he like ghosted everybody that loved the series, so there was some very mad people that love these books. Anyways, he decides that he wants these books to read, and he ends up going to the house and getting what he wants, along with the money that the other two followers want. So they get the money, he gets the books, and they go and they hide it because they think cops will be after them, because they also killed the author. So he gets murdered, and then it's all over the news. So they hide the books, and then years later, the main bad guy character goes to jail for attempted rape. So if you are not wanting to read it because of that, then don't read it. But it's really good. Not the rape part, the book. He goes to jail for attempted rape and ends up going for life because the victim testified that she's never going to be the same, which is understandable. So, years and years and years go by, and then a family moves into the bad guy's, what the heck is his name? Morris. The bad guy main character's name is Morris. So Morris goes to jail, and then a family moves in. And then Pete Saunders, he is in the house, and he finds the books and he finds the money. So his family is going through a hard time, and he decides that they need the money more than this guy does. More than Morris does. So he goes, and every month he's sending anonymous $500, sometimes more, to his house, and nobody knows who it is, and gives them money so that they can kind of get by and not lose their house and not be able to eat and all that stuff. and he keeps sending the money until it runs out. The kid grows up and he wants to sell the unpublished writings to help his sister go to this expensive school that they can't afford. And he doesn't know that the original person that found the books and the money has now got out of jail. So, because he got out of jail, and he goes back to the hiding place and finds the books and the money gone. So he is livid. He thinks one of his old friends did it. So he goes to his ex-friend, who now has a successful bookshop, and things happen, and yeah. So that is my review for that. Like, lots more happens, but I don't want to give everything away. This is basically like the main storyline. Like, this is in the synopsis, so like I'm not giving anything away. So I know it's already the 5th of November and it's a little bit late, and I'm sorry about that. I really need to get better at doing my videos more often. But the next book that we are going to read, I know this is supposed to be a review, but I'm going to do a little to be read kind of thing, and it's Midnight's Master by Cynthia Eden. This, I think, is going to be amazing because so basically this is going to be, as I call, book porn, and it's kind of like a lot of will she, won't she, will they, won't they, like, it's steamy. Like, I love Cynthia Eden. Yes, I know there's a face on the cover, that's ridiculous, but it's gonna be good. I know it because she is a fantastic writer. I will definitely be reviewing this in the next little while because I want to know what happens in this book. Now, the next book I have is actually a library book, which is very, very, very overdue. So, this is December's book club book, I believe. It's Missing by Kelly Armstrong. And she's a fantastic author. I don't even really know what it's about. Okay, so it's basically a book about, I think it's going to be a thriller book. It's about people going missing, and everybody thinks, because it's a small town, everybody thinks they leave. So, that's going to be interesting, because I have not really ever read any books that have been thrillers from her. It's mostly paranormal romance. So, I'm kind of interested to see if I'm going to like this book or not. I don't normally give books a 1 star, but it depends on if I'm intrigued, and I am intrigued about this book. Like, I want to know what it's about. So I'm hoping that I can get to this as soon as possible. This is next month's book club book, so that's a fun time. The next book that we have is going to be for January's book club book. This is the last month of the year that I have picked out for right now. and that is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. So this is a very thick book, so I'm going to be giving us 2 months instead of 1 month, so I will not be doing a review until February of 2023, just because it is a big book. It is like... It doesn't even have page numbers of it. It's 800 pages. So, because I work nights and everything, I have decided that we are just going to do 2 months for this book because it is a big book. And I have a hard time reading books before the end of the month because it's a big book. Look at how big it is. It's ridiculous. Anyways, that is the books that I have read and the books that we are going to read in the next 3 months. Now, this last part of this video is going to be books that are not on the book club book list. So, I'm going to start with the book that I'm reading right now, and then I'm going to go to the ones that I have read already for these last 2 months, and a few are new releases that I was super excited for. So the book that I am currently reading is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So you might find it funny, but I have this bookmark. I absolutely love it. It's from my auntie. And even though I've already read these books, I decided that I was going to finish off the series. The reason I'm so tired is because I stayed up until probably 3 in the morning. Mind you, I got home at 12:30. I work 4 to midnight, so... And the reason I'm so tired is because I just finished Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Yes, I have a gorgeous cover. Like, look at that cover. It is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it's sparkly. You cannot even see the sparkles in this. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love this series. Even though I'm 29, going to be 30 this coming year, I cannot believe it. I still absolutely love these books. I'm absolutely devastated every time I read this book because things happen, and if you haven't read it yet, I'm not saying anything just because it's very sad. I absolutely adore this book. Like, this is one of my favorite series, and I've read it probably several times now. Like, several hundred times I've read it. It's such a good book. Not 100 times, but several times I've read it. The next book that I want to talk about is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Now, this is a new author to me. He is absolutely, I think it's a man. I think it's a man. And this is one of the best thrillers I have read. I don't read thrillers at all. Like, it had twists and turns that I was not expecting at all. Because this was just... And look at the cover. It's so pretty. And it's like one of those floppy ones. Like, it's floppy. I love it. I love floppy paperbacks. They're my favorite thing. And I definitely am going to check out more books by him. Because I actually watched a video from Haley in Bookland. And she had reviewed... said she wanted to read this book. So I went and read this book. I bought it and I read it. Such a good book. Okay, and then the last book I've read this last couple of months is Kingdom of the Feared by Kerri Maniscalco. Scala. I love that. Anyways, this was the third book of the, what is it called? Absolutely adored this book. It is so good. The first book is Kingdom of the Wicked, and the second book is Kingdom of the Cursed. Now, I absolutely adored this book. Maybe not as much as the first and second one, but I still adored this book. I definitely recommend it 100%. It was so well written. I had a wonderful time with it. I definitely recommend this book for anybody that loves will they, won't they kind of tension through the entire trilogy. Now, I'm hoping there is a fourth book because, it's so fantastic. I want a fourth book, but the way it ended, I don't think there's gonna be one, and I'm really sad about it. So sad. But I'm very happy about finally getting back to my videos. I apologize for it being a very long time since I've done my reviews and videos for my channel. I'm not happy about it because I absolutely adore doing my videos. I went from 6 to 2 to 2 to 10 to 3 to 11 to 4 to midnight. So I have not had a very easy time with my job as of right now. So because of that, I haven't got a chance to do it. And yes, that's a bad excuse. It's been 5 months. I understand. I understand that some of you leave because I have not been here in a long time, and it's understandable. But I hope you don't. And if you want, you can, again, go to my Instagram if you want and check out my Instagram on there. I always am posting stuff. Again, if you want, my Twitter account is BookDragon93, and my Instagram is Gemini Bookdragon 93, and I'll definitely try and link those down for you guys. I also have a Facebook account. It is Bookdragons 2019. I'm going to be changing that to something else, so that's coming up. I very much hope you guys enjoy this video. I enjoyed making it, and I hope that I can edit it so I will actually have more followers, I hope, because I very much love having you guys come in. I'm hoping I can have a live show at one point and just kind of talk to you about books, maybe have a reading sprint with you guys. But yeah, that's it for my video. Thank you guys very much for being here. I appreciate you watching this. And if you subscribe, I would love that. I would love to have you guys. And if you enjoyed this, please give my video a thumbs up. And if you want any video, me to make any videos at all, just comment below in the comments. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!